I must say, very, very sorry for all participants because I am keeping you away from your work in late evening because this is morning in at my place in US and it's going to be late evening at your place, but this is the best time for me, and that's why I requested Bhole sir to put my session 5 to 7. It might be a bit boring, but I will try to make it interesting. Uh, so let me start sharing my screen and talk about my experience, my journey in this design. Can you see my slide?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this
Yes.
is IDC building.
Yes, you can put, you can click on that hide so that it will go away. There is one,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yes, it will go away.
yeah. So welcome to design. Actually, design is not only restricted to design professional. Everybody is designing. If you ask me now, engineer design, even the chef designs is this is movies are designed and everything around our life which we are using, which we are enjoying. Our dresses are to be designed. Our shoes are being designed. Design is everywhere. Now let me try to bring out through my presentation why it is important and what is this design and all these things. Uh, so what is design? Design is a process where we are trying to make our life, human beings' life, more comfortable. Many things, everything is needs design. There was earlier session, one session, which Dr. Umle must have talked about design thinking. This process, design thinking, we use very different process as compared to technical or engineering thinking. And we were calling it design thinking or the process of design. Then management people adopted this and then they have popularized this design thinking. Harvard Business School actually they were responsible for bringing it in management, and then everywhere you will see design thinking, design thinking. Basically, design thinking process is human-centered approach to solve problem, any problem, because we are facing problem, human problem. So those can be solved using design techniques. Our basic uh, approach or goal is to achieve the best result, and it allows you to use advanced creativity techniques and innovations and collaborate, co-create and all that. I'm not going much into detail about the design thinking process, but I will share what is the outcome of this design thinking process and why it is so important. So design is the activity which result into turning our ideas into product. Now I'm using product. It may be software, it might be electrical hardware, it may be everything, anything, garment, shoes, or jewelry, or a new hairstyle. Uh, all these I'm using the product as a common term. It is a continuous cycle of prototyping, experimenting, researching, and talking to customer and reshaping our ideas. And then I will say, okay, this is my new hairstyle, or this is my new style of garment. And this is cyclic process, and we are doing it till we achieve the best solution, which is accepted uh, at the market. In engineering term, we have used design for X term many times, and where design helps in uh, going for this DFX approach. But we are talking about making user-friendly products, ease in operations, ease in maintenance, or even transportation is very important. Erection at the site is important, energy efficient, and last but not the least important, at optimal cost. Why design and innovation is becoming so important today? Let me talk a little bit about that. Because of globalization and because of e-marketing, now anybody sitting in any corner of the world can just click few buttons and keys and find out which is the product available in Africa or a desert, and they identify this as a problem. Then they came out with a very good innovative products. There is a crank and there is a mouse taper collet in the front, and this whole small gadget is to be mounted on a pedestal grinder, and then adjust the angle once, and then operator has to put the drill in the front and then rotate the handles, and you will get the perfect, very sharp tip. Fantastic innovation. But when we started, we means product design people started looking at this. We said human aspect is overlooked. This is working, this is phenomenal. You have proper gear ratio to get a optimal rotation and all that. But operator is far away and he's rotating the crank, and actually it's the drill tip, which is the actual main focus point, he can't see because it is far away. There is a visual disconnect between the actual process and what you are doing. So we started working on, and this design helps in developing products with added value. They are aesthetically appealing, they are user friendly, very simple to use. So same drill tip grinding when uh, design team worked on. Now the whole machine is very compact. Instead of using the mouse taper collet in the front, we adopted self-centering chuck because many of our drills are parallel shaft. We brought the crank on the side. It is very easy to operate and have a visual connect with what you are working. Now this becomes a saleable product. So I can say design is like a uh, insurance policy for success. It will sell in the market. So design and technology, they are inseparable. It's like a two sides of the coin. Uh, if rupiah should be as a currency, then it must have head as well as tail. If one side is missing, then it is Badda rupiah, and then Amitabh Bachchan only can use it in Sholay. You must be remembering that famous shot where he uses the rupiah, his coin, for tossing, and so they have two sides of the same coin, and then only it will be successful. Your product will be successful. I'm going to show you very simple products, but very important product: adhesive tape from medical application. We all use this sellotape. Sellotape is a wonderful product having a sticky surface on one side. It is made with the plastic, and but we also know that if sellotape is in a typical simple roll, then you need a cutting device. Another problem with the sellotape is you forget to put some innovative thing, either a matchstick or a U-clip, it is so difficult to locate your starting point. And then you must have a very sharp finger to find out where it starts, and then you have to use uh, either scissor or a cutter to cut it. Fantastic product, but uh, quite difficult to use if you are not taking care of putting something to identify the starting point. But a small dispenser, throwaway dispenser, just injection molded small piece, makes your life easy. Phenomenal. We are using it day in and day out. Same similar product we use in medical application. This is cloth tape. A cloth because it breathes, and it's very convenient product for putting bandages on wounds. But even this tape needs some cutting device. And unfortunately, when it is made with the cloth, you can't have the dispenser like our previous thing. You must have something shearing action done to cut it. So problem was identified, and then another fantastic product was introduced for self-help, the band-aid. It's like a small piece, nicely packed. So you just open and you can just uh, put it on a small one, small cuts. But if wound is big, then yeah, you must rush to the hospital, and then they are going to use the medicated. They will apply medicine, and then they will put cotton balls, and then they will put this cloth tape. That's the process we will use today. So 3M company, fantastic innovative product. They are introducing and making our life easy. We know self-sticky, that yellow note, micropores. So they came out with a fantastic product, which is actually a paper-based product, which is having thousands of micropores. You can just use your hands to tear, and you can use whatever length of this micro. Very impressive. But still, I was more impressed not by the micropore, but transport, another product. Now look at the cut possible. It gives you clean cut. It is plastic based product, but there are many holes. Now if you ask me, does it really require rocket technology? No, not really. But it is making our life so easy. You can keep on cutting small pieces. No? And what is the technology? It's nothing. The perforations are used on our stamps and our checkbook, bill books. What 3M engineers have done, it's like a repeated grid of perforation, which allows you to tear the session, tear this tape. It can be on even small 5 mm by 5 mm, whatever size you, and every piece is clean cut. This is becoming almost like a de facto standard in all hospitals. Even Indian hospitals started using this, and it's like a multi-billion-dollar business. It is so great, making people's life comfortable. That's the basic main point. Another example, till 2005, phones started becoming smarter. We started using it for texting. My first phone was for texting, was key number one, A, B, C, key number two, and all must have used this type of phone. No, you have to get C. You have to keep on pressing first key, one, two, three. You will get C. But yes, it was allowing me to text. Then BlackBerry came out with the QWERTY key. But in this process, I went for that, but then I have to use a stylus or a small, huge ballpoint refill to press the key. But it was having alphabetic all keys, and it was making my life very comfortable. Up to 2005, we started using the smartphones. But look at the Apple approach. And they are fantastic in using design thinking process in order to come out with the breakthrough products. And even today, in phones, in their software, this thing, many innovative products. Their computers are very innovative. Steve Jobs and Jonathan Ive. Jonathan Ive was their design chief, and this whole design thinking process. I'm trying to present it in the form of dialogue. Look at how the smartphone got evolved or iPhone got evolved. Steve Jobs, if we make a phone with no keypad, Jonathan, why we will want to do that? Well, if there is no keypad, then there will be more room for the screen because the whole the mobile phone can become a screen. Bigger screen will mean it will be more useful for mails, web browsing, playing games, and all that. Jonathan Ive. Sound good, but how do people make a phone call or how you will enter numbers, letters, or text? How about a virtual keypad? When you want it is there. When you don't want it will just disappear and the whole screen becomes a display screen. How it will work? Maybe we will make it touch sensitive. Total new thought. Of course, at that time, Apple was not having the technology. They acquired the Fingerworks, expert in multi-touch surfaces. They worked for 2 years, and first iPhone was revealed on 9th January 2007. Look at the whole approach to make users life comfortable. Give him bigger screen so that he can uh, read email in a better manner, better format, or watch video or play games. iPhone is changing. The phone is changing. It's no more for just calling people. Another example, it talks about the power of design. One observation, all roadside scooter mechanics or carpenters, when they are working on furniture project, they use nut bolts, washers, screws, many ferrous objects, and they do drop washers, screws, and nails. So they have devised their own simple way. They use screwdriver with magnetic tip to lift these drop washers and screws. Fantastic. They have solved their problem at their level. So when I started looking at this, I said, can I innovate on this? This is fantastic. Why only mechanics and carpenters are using it? Can I make a product for common person? So I started observing what are the problems with the screwdriver. Screwdriver is a big thing and it is not compact. I can't carry it with me in my pocket. So I devised a product. What I did, a thread attached with a very powerful magnet. There is a loop on one end and then I can grab the thread around the magnet and I can carry it in my pocket. A fantastic product. And I was very proud of this innovation. Last 20 years plus, I am trying to sell it across to people in all these type of conferences, and I failed miserably. Nobody is ready to buy. People are offering hardly 5 rupees for this. Many times they are saying, "Why, sir, I should buy it from you?" My IIT brand is also not helping me to sell it across. Uh, people, I was trying to sell it that opening of locks is a problem, and then uh, look at the lock itself, pedal lock, it rotates, and then the ferrule itself is a problem. It keeps on rotating. You have to insert the key in that small keyhole, and thanks to my uh, log designers and my architects, I do drop my keys. So I said, this product is wonderful. If I'm having this product in my pocket, I can use it for lifting dropped keys besides dropped ferrous object. Nobody offered me really more than 5 rupees, and that's why academicians are not really business minded. I haven't earned millions of dollars on this product. People also use the term jugaad. It looks like a jugaad. I can make it myself. Why I should give even 5 rupees for this product? It doesn't look like a product. If product is not looking like a product, it is not sellable. People will make it themselves. And then I was really impressed about 20 years ago in this Kmart. I found one product which can be carried in my pocket like a pen. And this also is a wonderful product, very similar to what was my this thing contraption. It's nothing but a ideal fixed with a very powerful magnet. I can carry it like a pen, and it makes my life comfortable if I draw. And particularly when people are becoming older, there might be a onset of Parkinson and eyesight is poor. All these problems are leading to they are going to drop their keys. And bending down further becomes problem because many times there is a backache and issues of bending. A product to make your life easier. Now, once the product is developed, maybe I can add a light and it will further make my life easier. I came out another product. This I found in Switzerland. Now, this is no more a very small, tiny, pen-looking product, but it's like a van. When I open it, it's like a van. It also becomes very powerful torch, and they are claiming that if you are taking out your pet dog for a walk, we all know how stray dogs and pet dogs they have fantastic friendship, and I have to protect my pet dog. This helps me in protecting. This is a van, quite a strong van. Even it can be used against vandalism, against robbers, and protect myself. Fantastic product. Design thinking is used to develop further, improve it, find out new application. Now look at the pricing. This particular image talks about people were not ready to offer me 5 rupees for those that thread and a magnet, $5 for basic product. Then you add light, $8, and this third product, which is helping you to protect yourself, is 16 euros. And that's the power of design. Of course, the whole story started with the scenario from the roadside mechanic. But we are redefining the context. We are saying old people do drop their keys. And this particular product is called as dropped key lifting device. Very sophisticated looking product which one can be proud of carrying it in the pocket, and that's power of design thinking or design. 5 rupees, 16 euros. So we were talking about user-centric product. And I showed you a few examples also. Uh, I hope you are getting the more and more understanding about the user-centric design approach. Now let me further elaborate on understanding user. I'm dividing the users now in three categories: primary, secondary, tertiary. And to open up discussion, I'm just taking a very simple product. Every kitchen now, this product is a must besides our gas stove to make life easy for wives who are spending time for preparing food and cooking and then serving. Fantastic product. Instead of galbata, no, this is a standard product. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Mixer and grinder is like a one every in you will find every kitchen. Let me tell you who is the user. Primary user is a housewife. She is interested to make chutney and grind dal and all that. Uh, what are her point of view requirements from the mixer and grinder? It must be very heavy performer, visibility during use, because she want to see how coarse or how fine is the grinding. Uh, Very easy to pack, particularly people in Bombay. Our kitchens are so small, maybe uh, 2 feet by 5 feet is the maximum kitchen platform, and I have to use it for keeping my gas stove, even use it for uh, rolling chapatis and everything. No? So in Bombay kitchen, I don't have space. While if participants are coming from other areas, they have luxury of having bigger kitchen. So, and all Bombay wives or Bombay ladies, they have to pack this after use. So, from her point of view, it should be very easy to pack and keep the wire and everything compact and keep it in the shelf or keep it in the drawer. Lightweight, because she is going to take it out, keep it back, and wife, ladies, they are the primary user. We do get maid servant to clean up our vessel. Whether it is good or bad, we will not enter into that debate. But I always say we are creating jobs for those illiterate people who are staying in the slum. Whether it's a we will not enter into debate how to improve their life and other thing. But yes, he or she, Ramagadi or some lady is coming to my house for cleaning, and she is earning the bread. Uh, no, she has hardly 20 minutes or 30 minutes to clean almost 50 vessels. Per vessel, half a million. Now imagine about the mixer and grinder. My wife has used it for grinding or making fantastic garlic chutney. Now she has put it for cleaning. For maid servant, it is very, very important to make it very easy to dismantle blade. If you don't take out the good blades, you can't clean it nicely. And it should be very easy to clean, very minimal parts, half a second, half a minute per vessel. That's the average time. Maid servant also becomes a primary user. And if she doesn't clean it properly, then my god, next day my grinding bowl is going to start stinking. It stinks. Now, this mixer and grinder is to be assembled by the mechanics, workshop people on the assembly line. For him, it should be very easy to assemble, pick up different parts, and sequential assembly. We talk about the Pokayoka just in times and all that. He's my user. So when I am designing, I have to design it for assembly also. He is in assembly. After manufacturing, I have to transport it from one place to another place of production to place of consumption. And again, I am using people to lift and fill up my truck. Should be very easy to lift, pass on, and load. Now, from reducing carbon footprint, I should accommodate maximum products in the given capacity of the truck, LCV and 10 tonners and those 16 axle. I must load maximum. Transport and transportation and workers come into the pictures. They are my users. Now, salesman, particularly the mixer and grinder, that salesman also is my user. Because my wife is a choosy Indian lady. Why not? She has to spend her money, hard earned money. So she is interested to compare 5, 6, 10 products. Now that poor shop salesman has to take out the product, put it on. That sound of motor, I don't know how much it gives you the confirmation, yes, it will work. But yes, we want to check. Even when I am buying the pen, I don't just select it, but I always scribble it. No? It's like a testing the performance. Salesman become my user. How easy to take it out and demonstrate and pack it back. All products do require servicing. Now, maybe mixer and grinder, I will take it to the service shop, but my white goods, the refrigerator, dishwasher, washing machine, service mechanic comes to my house and he has to diagnose what is the problem. So it must be very easy for dismantling and replacing damaged part, easy to assemble back and make it working. Service mechanic becomes a and last product. Actually, Indian philosophy of selling it to Kabadiwala, and I'm really proud of this approach. No? We never throw newspapers even. We collect all newspaper for a month or two and then sell it to Kabadiwala, and then it is recycled. So this green design and all these developed countries have started talking, but we were using it. This was our habit for generations. Kabadiwala was a very common person in our life. So he used to come to my house and he's going to buy newspaper, glass bottles, and even the mixer and grinder. Now, from his viewpoint, it should be very easy to dismantle. In fact, my electrical friends must design motor so that Kabadiwala can take out the copper wiring. Because copper has the maximum sale value, isn't it? Kabadiwala. It's like a designing for cradle to grave, from point of manufacture to point of dismantle or after life. No? And this really the holistic design or holistic thinking can make the green design and ecology friendly products very much possible. Designing for cradle to grave. And that is basic philosophy of design. Again, we are looking at who is the user and designing it around the user's requirement. This gives me ideas how to make it easy to transport, easy to dismantle, easy to maintain, and all that. So I'm not just going to talk about this philosophy and process. And in this last 45 years, I have done many projects, more than 58 projects. There are many patents, and I have designed for Indian as well as multinational companies, even for specific market, US market, and like that. I'm going to show you just two or three of my projects to elaborate on how we teach design and how we practice design. So I thought I will share even some of my professional work. Voltas people, they were leader in manufacturing diesel forklift truck. And they approached me in 1998, last century. They were facing problem. This is typical Voltas forklift truck at that time. They approached us to get the whole forklift truck redesigned because they were facing severe competition from Korean and Japanese trucks, which were better designed, better looking. Who is the user, primary user? The driver. So, comfort of a driver in driving this forklift truck was really taken into consideration. And easy to maintain all those previous what we talked about. So Voltage people approached us and said, "Can you design a truck which will face this competition, which will help us to capture the market back?" Because they were facing real problem. Now, let me start a story about this Voltas forklift truck. Actually, the forklift truck manufactured by Voltas is based on the Yale technology. Yale truck. They acquired total know-how from Yale. The first truck in this image is Yale. And during the process of indigenization and all that engineering, re-engineering, Voltas truck is behind this. You can see how Yale truck looks and how Voltas truck looks. This is the development happening over maybe 15 or 20 years. Uh, so we started understanding the problem of driver, who is the primary user. So we interviewed almost more than 200 drivers across various industries, and almost 80% drivers, they were complaining about the backache, problems with the back. So we said, why backache? Within 2 years in service, they will start complaining about backache. It was not because of the seat or vibration. So we started understanding the problem. In this process of design, engineers have designed very nice step for climbing up. Can you see the step? It's nothing but a vertical wall, small cutout, and there is a small piece of metal attached to in a horizontal manner. And a person who want to climb up, he can insert his toe. Now I'm using the term toe, not the hill. And depending on the height of your sitting height, there might be one step or two step, because some of the um, heavy machines used in mines, they might have 3 4 steps, because person is sitting almost like at 10 feet high. Yeah. Now engineers were quite happy, they have solved the problems of climber. But look at the forces. Is when you are climbing up, you are on the ground, that step is visible, then there can be nice handles and you can do acrobats and climb up. But when you are climbing down, you have to face also outward. This step is like a blind spot. It is not visible. And even if person knows where the step is hillside of the leg, you can't insert the hill. So almost like from 3 feet high, these poor drivers were forced to jump minimal 50, maximum even 100 times per day during their operation, because he has to see whether the forks are properly inserted, the load is properly balanced, and everything. Unfortunately, God has not designed our back for supporting this type of jumps. Maybe 6 days a week into 52 weeks into. So in a year or two, people start complaining backache. And it becomes very severe. They are jumping, forced to jump. So we decided that somehow we have to create a state which is visible from the top. Because of technical reason, we could not really bring down the height, because the wheels themselves, they are pretty high, bigger. But still, we could create a step about 40 centimeter from the ground level and visible from the top, which is important. Now he need not jump. That's our main. Then as I discussed earlier, no, we started even looking at the chassis from different users' point of view, the mechanic and maintenance and service people. And I came out with the six different chassis. These are not engineered, let me put it very clear, but these are designed from, these are ideas, okay, which will make maintenance guys' life easy or assembly point of view easier way. When I presented, management said yes, but then they said, sir, please don't go to or ask us to redesign the chassis because the redesigning chassis is a lot of engineering. Now today, of course, we have FEA and all that. Tomorrow, I think somebody is going to talk about the FEA. And these are wonderful too. But 20 years ago, it was quite difficult to. So they said, sir, don't go for this, all this. These all your ideas are phenomenal, but it's impossible for us to reach our manufacturing goal because they were talking about introducing the new design as a product of millennium. Minimal changes in the chassis, and so it was the challenge is like now packing old wine into a new bottle. Then we still came out with the minimal changes. Then they actually made in one of their chassis. They have sent that chassis to IDC. This is in front, in between the IDC and mechanical department. And they have sent across. We have made a thermocol body, which we kept it on the that chassis, which fitted perfectly and still giving you the that carved out seat, carved out step. Can you see the step here, which is visible from? We're happy when we talk to. We actually interviewed another 20 drivers. They visited IDC and they said this is fantastic to climb up and climb down. So this was taken. Of course, during that I saw red color of black and yellow, and this was introduced as a product of millennium. December 2000, with big fanfare, they introduced it, and started the comfortable for the driver. The basic important point was the step. Outcome of this design is more than not only making it good looking product, sellable product in the market, but let me elaborate on the outcome of this. Now I'm going into a bit technical side of aesthetics. This is called as a waistline. This is ground where the ground line where wheels are touching, and in between the waistline. Waistline height is reduced by 150 mm. It's like a chopping of 10, 20, 30 mm steel plates. Net weight saving, climbing on the slope was improved. So instead of reducing the price, companies premium on this forklift truck. They started exporting. This is now like almost like a 5-star product. You must be aware of this star rating. All our ACs, electrical products, they have started giving you the star rating. 5-star rated refrigerator or AC is more efficient. Efficient means energy efficient. It will save on the energy bill per year. But in turn, because of technology, they are selling it higher. 3-star AC is cheaper than 5-star AC. Like that. No? No. Here, every month I'm going to save on fuel. Yes, companies started charging premium for this. They started exporting 500 kilo weight saving. This is how the final product on the road looks like. Even today, you will find this type of forklift truck. The Voltas forklift truck, I heard it is taken over or sold to some other company, but I'm not sure whether they have changed the design or they are continuing the same design. And in design language, we call there is a signature of a designer. And if you look at this overhead guard, it is having the continuity, and that is Bapat's signature. So if you come across any Voltas forklift truck having this type of overhead guard, this is 10 tonner. The earlier one was 3 tonner. They extended that in all full range of their forklift truck. And you will see this product still in the market. And so if you see my signature, you can say that yes, Professor Bapat gave us the lecture on product design. Another product I developed for Crompton Grills. They were very near. They are very near. Of course, they were because Crompton has sold across their land now. At Kanjuma, IIT is at Powai. They approached us. At that time, this is again a story almost like a 16 or 18 years ago. There was a nice system at that time in their R&D. R&D people used to develop perfect any product, and they used to call experts from outside, and they used to call it as a go no go meeting. Go no go means, is it really product developed or designed by the R&D people? Is it perfect, or some more research or development is needed? So outside expert will be not biased. No? So they used to call people from IITs or other institutions, or even sometimes other industries also, which are not competing them, to get the unbiased view. So R&D people developed this very interesting cooler pump. Now, cooler pump, why cooler pump? Because it is used in the desert cooler. Are you aware of desert cooler? Desert cooler works on evaporation of water. So this goes inside that. It is a OEM component. Nobody sells the desert, this cooler pump across the counter. So the aesthetics is not that important, but the usability and functionality is more important. So, so this go no go meeting, they invited me from design side and my colleague Professor Chandokar from electrical. And their R&D people presented. So this is a better product based on the permanent magnet motor, not the induction motor. And there are electrical background people, participants in the group. They will understand what I am talking about. The permanent magnet type motor, not induction magnet, induction type motor. Again, I'm at this level, I'm not going into detail, but the permanent magnet motor have their own advantages. Lesser number of parts and all that. They presented their whole R&D research and development, their experimentation, and we really appreciated their efforts. Uh, so we said, fantastic, go ahead for production. But VP, Vice President Noria said, Professor Bapat, what do you think about this from design point of view? Yes, from functionality point of view, we have achieved our goals. But from design point of view, can you comment on? He really asked me to comment on user point of view or design point of view. And this was my question in that meeting. Why this 100-watt motor is designed and most of the time, if you notice that there are axial assemblies. There is a rotor assembled on the shaft and you push it in the axial form, axial direction and assemble. There is a cover and bearing and very solid flat motor. But the approach was to design it axial assembly. They said, what do you mean? And this was my sketch during that meet. I said, can we think about radial or side assembly? And this is the sketch drawn in 5 minutes during that meeting. They said, can you develop it? Our deadline is just 3 months down the line. We want to introduce this in the market. In 3 weeks' time, I worked on and developed a product which is side assembly. Actually, I made working prototype. I used polycarbonate. I perfected assembly technique, and because the motor is running at quite a high temperature, and I made it in polycarbonate. And when we tested it, people were really stunned to see the results. So this is what my side assembly is talking about. So shaft, permanent magnet, my winding is actually assembled before the whole thing gets side assembly, and it is like a snap fit. We use spring. Yeah. Now look at this new design features of them. We could achieve substantial component reduction from 34 to 19, almost 45 plus percent reduction. Plastic injection molded body components are released. No screw. Assembly is based on snap-off. Cover acts as a heatsink. Very unique concept. The aluminum cover is touching the stamping. And because of that, inside temperature reduces from 103 to 88 degrees centigrade. Immediately, the copper wiring which is used, or the wire which is used for winding, they go for a cheaper wire because that copper wire itself is given a coating to make it insulated. Otherwise, if I just put a plain copper wire, it will not be a winding. They could reduce the cost on copper wiring because temperature came down. They have patented, and these are my first 2 patents in design area. We changed the coupling, we changed so many things, the side assembly for pull-out plant, everything. So we have filed 2 patents for this. This was one of my successful products. And this whole thing is evolved because we said, who is the user? the
आणि
assembly
मला
line
असं वाटतं
work.
की त्याला बॅकग्राऊंडला
So instead of axial assembly, can I do the snap fit
बहुतेक
side
त्या
assembly?
सरांच्या इथूनच आहे तो
And we
voice.
could
ते जे
achieve
सर
the
बसले तिथूनच.
phenomenal result.
एकदा जस्ट चेक कर ना.
Though
हा एकदा
aesthetics is
चेक कर
not
नक्की, कारण की मला
great
तिथे कुठे वाटत
because it
नाहीये,
is a
माझ्या
functional
ह्याच्यावरून पण
product.
नाही आणि तिथे
It's going
कोणाचं माईक
inside the
पण ऑन
machine.
नाहीये.
So we have not spent
एकदा
any
चेक कर
extra
तुला
penny
कसं
or
ऐकायला येते.
paisa on improving the aesthetic. Everything is functional. But plastic molded
मला काय
body,
हवंय
so
आता.
reduction in parts, that was major contribution.
यार ह्याच्यातच टाकल्या होत्या.
One more product, and I'm really proud about my contribution this contribution to this Sigma 3 product. Now, what is this Sigma 3? Electronic devices, they are leading foil sealing machines. I will elaborate on what is this. They were working on next generation Sigma 3 product, which is having self-diagnostic and IoT ready. Now, my friends, you know about the IoT and industrial revolution coming number four and all that. Because this ED, electronic devices, they are exporting this machine. They are very popular even in Germany and US
कोणाला
and
बघते
other
तिथे.
countries. And when you export product, it must run. So can there be a self-diagnosis and people sitting in Mumbai can look at the health of this machine and can you know which part is going to fail? So can you dispatch that before machine starts? Now let me elaborate on what is this foil sealing machine and how it works. So there is a conveyor belt, and on this conveyor belt, bottles are moving. Now, what is this foil sealing itself? When you open any medical, the capsule bottle or pickle bottle or Nescafe or this type of product, there is a foil. Now, this foil is helping us to keep the freshness of inside content. It will not get oxidized. The shelf life increases. Otherwise, it might go soggy. It will become rock solid. Pickle will become bad. My capsules will absorb moisture and they will become soggy. So all my pharma bottles and products, food products, there is a foil. Now this foil is protecting inside content and also it is like a paper-proof evidence. Now what is this? It allows me to know that nobody has used it or misused it during this selling process. Uh, I'm getting the packed product. Nobody has taken out one spoonful of coffee during this transportation and selling. Yes, foil becoming very important product. Now, how it works? Actually, uh, I'm not sealing it like this and putting the cap. There is a piece inside the cap which is having the aluminum foil, which is having the heat sensitive glue. So, in the production line, there is a filling station, capping station, and this foil sealing machine, which is nothing but an induction field is there. So when the capping station, you are inserting the cap, which is having that foil inside, but it is not sealed. When it is passed through this induction field,
मला तर इथे दिसत नाही
foil
कोणाचं
gets
माईक
sealed,
चालू आहे.
and you get
असेल तर बंद करा.
packed bottle. Of course, here I have removed the cap
चेक करते.
just to show you that this is how it gets sealed. And then you put it in the
युट्यूबवर मला असं बॅकग्राऊंडवर व्हॉइस येतोय.
boxes and send it across for marketing. Now, this filling station,
ठीक आहे. नाही नाही रेकॉर्ड
In
सरांचा आवाज
pharma
येतोय
industry,
पण मला
now
बॅकग्राऊंडला
we are
व्हॉइस
talking
येतोय.
about uh,
नाही लाईव्ह मध्ये नाही येते, लाईव्ह मध्ये नाही येते पण असं मला
tablet press. Tablets where we are manufacturing the crochet or those type of
मी माझं डिस्कनेक्ट
tablets,
बोलू.
1 million
हा.
per hour manufacturing capability. In fact, I was involved in designing
अच्छा.
this type of uh,
हा.
press, the tablet press for
नाही
AC.
मला काही आवाज नाही आहे.
Uh,
नाही मला काही
so
दिसलं नाही. मी नाही बनवले म्हणजे खोत सरांनी बनवले असेल नाही.
now, if this machine stops, everything must stop. The whole
हा.
company comes to a standstill.
हा.
Yeah, tablet press. So we started looking at internal, and when we start working on any design project, we try to understand every this thing inside component, their function, and why it is
हो हो.
there,
नाही
and
बाबा.
what can be changed, what can be shifted from one place to another, and so
ठीक आहे चालेल.
this crank is for adjusting the gap between the conveyor belt and this foil sealing machine, because my bottle can be 2 inch tall or even 6 inch tall. So I must adjust the
हो.
in my machine. The machine is this creating very powerful induction field. So when bottle is passing below,
हा हा.
the
हो हो.
aluminum get heated, because of which
ठीक आहे
the
ठीक आहे. ओके
adhesive get heated and it sells. Fantastic
ओके ओके
machine.
ओके सर.
That small bottles,
ठीक आहे ओके सर. ओके.
100 bottle per minute is the speed. The bigger bottle, which is like a 4 inch diameter, maybe 20 bottles per minute. Phenomenal. And every bottle is sealed perfectly.
बाहेर जा मी तुझा आवाज येतो त्याचा.
So I started talking to with people there, manufacturing and designing. I started talking with electronic people. Why this component? What is the function, and why it is designed in this manner? Can I ship this to this place? And all those crazy questions. Uh, Now, during this, my visits to their industry and even at the consumer end, one observation. And that observation, now designer is actually trained to keep on looking at the problem area or would be problematic area, because we are actually designing it for success. It must work, because if this machine stops, everything stops. That 1 million tablet press also must be stopped, because I can't stock those tablets. No? So one observation, somebody has left paper cup. Of course, I'm holding the glass paper cup, but there was a sip of tea left. That gave me the idea. I said, oh my God. Our mentality is to use horizontal surface for keeping. So somebody must have left a teacup there or paper, even the water. No? That is a call for accident. If this last sip of tea spills over, there is a very high current moving and going into the circuitry. This machine is going to stop. I have to stop that 1 million tablet press, which is costly proposition, because the conveyor belt is to be stopped. I can't stock the produce. So I said, oh, I must design such a way that it can't be misused for anything else. So So I started developing shapes which are sloping forward. And we gave a slope in such a way if somebody leaves a cylindrical pane, it will fall, but it will fall away from that conveyor belt. Now, if it is a sloping, then I can keep my glass, right? So, discouraging people to misuse, very important consideration. So, this was our final shape, which was approved by the people, top management. Another observation from cradle to grave, even the transportation and all that I have referred earlier. Now, this is the machine ready for delivery. And their industry is in typical small scale industrial galas. Typically, they are based in Andheri itself, Andheri waste, I think. So, this is typical delivery bay of small scale industry. And you can see a machine packed into a wooden crate. This was shot picture taken during my visit in data collection and all that. So when we collect pictures, we keep on looking at it again and again. And I'm sharing my trade secret. So now if you look at this picture, there are three things. Actually, basically, these three things are not at all connected. Somebody, one human being, some fellow is carrying something. There is a machine, and then there is an eyeball CPUs packed into corrugated boxes. Totally disconnected aspect of this image. Three different things, not connected. We use one very powerful, this is my favorite way of creativity, connecting unconnected. So when I looked at this picture again and again, I said, oh my God, this is $1 million shot. Let me elaborate. And it immediately lighted the bulb. No? In cartoons, you must have seen whenever cartoon character get an idea, it is shown lighted bulb. Yes. Now, let me further elaborate. What is the problem? Problem is the whole machine is packed, ready to dispatch in wooden crate. Somebody will say, why wooden crate is a problem? We do use wooden crate for transporting. But if you are exporting it to Germany, sir, you have to really follow their laws. They don't like to import the machines packed into wooden crates. If you are exporting, then you must have fumigation certificate. Of the fumigation means you are removing all fungus from the wooden battens which are used for manufacturing crate. They don't want to import free fungus. And wooden crate means you have to really think about how you have to employ an agency there who will collect this wooden crate for recycling. They are very, very critical on this aspect. And in India, fumigation is more costly than the cost of wooden crate. That's the problem. My client mentioned about this problem of exporting wooden crate to Germany. I said, oh my God, this is real great opportunity, and God has given me a fantastic image. Let me explain. I was lucky to get even a person carrying two bags in two hands. What does this mean? My problem is wooden crate, the whole machine is assembled. When you assemble whole machine, there is a pedestal, there is a column and a machine. It's bound to become heavy. When heavy machine, use wood. Very simple solution. Now that person carrying two bags in two hands says, oh, if I have to carry heavy load, I distribute. But here I am actually assembling the whole thing together and making my life complex because I am pushed to use wooden crates. Now, third image, which is not related again, eyeball CPUs packed in corrugated boxes. This is where the whole design solution is there. I said, can I go for a modular concept? Instead of assembling it in one complete machine and using the wooden crate, making my life difficult to sell it to German people, can I make it modular? So actual electronic device, the column and pedestal. Now there are three different components. Modular concept we introduce. The electronic device is wrapped nicely in a plastic and foam in one corrugated box. Column is in another box. And pedestal is in another box. Corrugated box. Now, of course, when we decided to give the different components in three different boxes, it pushed us to redesign even assembly approach and everything. So we said it should be very easy to assemble by a single person at the site where it is going to be used. Single person assembly. So very easy to assemble by. So this is how the machine looks like finally. There is very nice cooling, air cooling entry and all those aspects are taken into consideration. This is how it looks in the front view. Ease of assembly and maintenance. Maintain because it is a machine. Two screws, disassembly. You open up two screws, unscrew two screws. It rotates. Then you have to remove the two wires which are going to the main switch and coming to your display. You can lift the top cover very easily. The whole PCB, whole assembly is available to you for checking which particular component has gone bad. Now, if you look at this, all taller component, because some of the transformers and all those tall components, I requested electronic people to push at the back, like soldiers standing in a very disciplined manner, tall people standing at the back, shorter people in the front row. Because I was interested to come out with the sloping forward. Of course, it was a lot of work for redoing the circuit and all that, but company liked that whole approach. And they really took efforts in implementing the whole design. Now look at this Sigma 3 touch, that's what they call it, machine design features. Now machine is made compact by reorganizing internal components, leading to a better aesthetics. Because it is like a global product, it must have a good aesthetics and easy to use and Forward slope makes it dynamic, and most important, misuse. Top surveys can't be misused for keeping anything sloping forward. That was the main contribution. Now look at in this process we could achieve substantial weight reduction. 140 kg original weight to 80 kg. 60 kg reduction in weight. Packaging and transportation is now very much simplified. I'm using paper corrugated box with the modular concept instead of wooden crates. No problem in exporting it to Germany now. Look at this freight reduction. They were exporting it to US FOB New York $1,250 earlier. Now it is only 300. Because of all these and their technical performance, it bagged the prestigious PacMac Award 2013. The owner is receiving that award, and it was even displayed at IF exhibition in Germany. And my client is more than happy. The users, the mechanics, they are happy because it is easier to maintain, easier to. Now I'm almost coming to my end of lecture so that we can take some questions and discuss it further. In this another product, the client has exhibited in the PMEC pharmaceutical machinery exhibition at Goregaon in 2018 PMEC exhibition. And there are two machines. This is your tablet packaging machine, it's a blister packaging machine, and this is actually cartoning machine. And they have used tagline designed in Europe. When I ask people during this type of seminars or anybody, people say the first machine must be designed in Europe and second machine must be designed in India. But let me clarify. This was designed by Italian firm. Of course, it was a total technology development. They have not really done enough efforts in improving the look. My contribution was on first machine, blister packing machine. This was their original machine, and you can see the change. Total personality of a machine is changed because of our contribution. In one exhibition, they got so many orders they could increase the cost, the price, not the cost, increase the price by 10%. Next 3 years orders are booked. It is selling really nicely in the market because now machine tells how efficient it is, and it must also tell the first look itself must have that expression. Yes, machine can deliver. And that's where we have to change from making or selling what we can make to making what we can sell. Now, this particular approach, I call it as imaginary. Now, of course, this term is not mine. Alco, one of the largest aluminum manufacturing company from America, they have coined this imagineering. Imagine engineering. It's like a free imagination. Imagination is the key for innovation, and that's what I preach and I use in my professional life. So, my dear friends, you are on the very challenging voyage of innovation and design. 3D printing is going to help you in innovation and help you in making the products workable. But look at the future. It's going to change. We have to rewrite our engineering books and manufacturing. It's going to change totally. So you're on the road of innovation and design, and you have taken it as a challenge. It's a voyage. Shubhaste Panthana. Have a successful life and safe journey. Thanks for patient hearing. My contact papat.vijay@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Now we can open session for how to stop sharing. Can you hear?
Okay, yeah, sir. Yeah, thank you very much, sir. It was great talk. Lot of case
How,
studies and
how to stop sharing so that we can.
Arundhati, can you tell about? Okay, it's okay, sir. If you don't stop, then also it's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so thank you very much, sir. It was great
My
talk.
pleasure. My
Yeah,
pleasure.
many more examples you have given. Simple design like 3D 3M product, the tape and all how, and then your own designs, case studies. It was wonderful. So I open this platform for the discussion now for the
Yeah.
participants.
Yeah.
Participants can unmute themselves and discuss with the sir. Please take this opportunity.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you help me to unshare?
Sir,
How to
Yeah, you
un?
can just, I think, escape. You put escape, try escape button.
Okay.
Otherwise, stop sharing. Yeah, there is a stop
Yeah.
sharing. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, Mamta ma'am, you can go ahead.
good evening, sir. It
Good
was a
evening.
really
Yeah.
wonderful talk. We could see your experience and design and imagination. Several products uh, we can really inspire with. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was truly, I could see the passion with which you have, looking at the object for continuously, you could get the idea. So I think that is something we should, once we do the research work or while we are doing some work, we should relook and think about it for better prospects of that particular work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I could understand that. So it was really very nice talk, sir. And I have one small advice from I wanted to ask from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a vast experience and you have been doing national, international projects and many other things. So, uh, maybe for researchers like us, early career researchers,
Yeah.
um, uh, what aspects we need to very carefully look at when we are doing and how we can better improve our things? Maybe in one or two sentences or
Yeah.
one or
Yeah.
two key aspects.
Yeah. So if you are a researcher, then my I will advise you first ask why you are doing that research.
Yes.
What is the goal of your research? And finally, how this will be finally commercialized instead of just looking at your requirement for PhD and other thing,
Yes, yes.
start looking at it commercial aspect of that. No, then you will, then you should start asking who are the user, where I can, which market it's going to impact, and then there will be many more ideas start coming in. Your research will be complete from, or the holistic approach can come in if you start looking at the same problem from different angles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I truly take
Yeah,
it. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
my
thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you. One question from Gopal Patil sir in
Yeah,
chat box.
please. Yeah.
Sir, he is saying like, sir, how we can select optimum design for these kinds of proposals? Means what are the different parameters need to be considered?
Okay. Now, of course, when I showed some of my professional work, I haven't gone into details how many solutions. Normally, okay, I'm engineer. Okay, I did my mechanical from Walchand College, and engineers normally, after so many years working with so many companies, I say engineers jump to a conclusion too early. Okay, see in this thinking process, there are two aspects. One is initially you must have divergent thinking and then convergent thinking. Actually, please excuse me, Bole sir, and all people. Okay, I'm criticizing our engineering education. We are trained to come out with the convergent, using convergent thinking, a solution to the problem. But we are not really trained to come out initially using divergent thinking. Many possibilities of coming out with a solution. For example, fixing a motor in AC, or motor is necessary for all products. Now, motor can be fixed by just directly nut bolt, or it can be hang. Do we really think in how many ways I can fix motor in my AC, in my car, in my whatever product we are designing? Normally, we never give some time for this initial divergent thinking. No? That's the problem in our engineering. And today, our computer tools are phenomenal. When I start working with my Pro E or any other solid modeler, it really helps me to do fantastic engineering. But also, when I start using computer, I have forgotten doodling different ideas on paper. We have forgotten that, no? The doodle, sketch. My advice is whatever problem, if there are young friends and if you are thinking of proposing your girlfriend, okay, think of in how many ways you can propose your girlfriend. Are there other ways to propose your girlfriend than presenting, sitting on a knee and giving rose flower? Think about different ways to propose. Or similarly, in how many ways I can fix a motor, in how many ways I can lift weight, in how many ways I can actually design a car which is more efficient. My advice to everybody before really starting to solve the problem, my problem is this: think about the options. Can you make a list of 5, 10, 20 different options and then find the best? best optimal in given time, given cost you can solve. But in my engineering approach, I jump to okay, the nut bolts is the only thing. Maybe I can think about directly welding it to the because I never want never think that I'm going to replace the motor. It will reduce the cost. Like my cooler pump, it was shock. I said, why motor? This motor is designed like a 100 HP motor because we are designed. We are having the metal block. Okay, we say okay, my motors are like this. The end plate bearing and I must assemble the rotor in this manner and now in that assembly time everything is going parallel, so many things can be done and you can reduce the cost. Yeah, I think I have
Yeah,
given.
yeah, sure, sir. We have to think out the box way,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
how the
yeah,
designs, new designs come and optimum designs.
yeah,
Really innovation.
yeah. My
Yeah,
my my suggestion is if you have say 100 hours for solving that problem. Now we always talk about man hours involved in when I'm charging. Okay, so 100 hours. Can you give me 5 hours, initial 5 hours to think about different possibilities
yeah, yeah, sure, sir. We
out
have
of
to
box?
think out the box way. That's how
Think about
designs,
10,
new
20
designs come and
different
optimum
possibilities
designs.
to
Really innovation.
come out with a
Yeah.
better solution and then evaluate. Use brainstorm. There are thousands of creativity techniques. Some of the creativity and these techniques should be introduced at school level and even at the engineering level. That's what my suggestion is. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Open-ended questions should be there, where
absolutely.
students can think in multiple
Yeah,
directions, come
yeah,
with their
yeah,
own thinking, variety
yeah,
of variety of the solutions, and then we can
yeah,
choose like which is the best and
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Yes, the time has come. Like we should ask like such open-ended questions
Precisely.
in the exam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anything else? Anything more? Participants, please take this opportunity. Unmute yourself. Discuss. Feel free to ask the questions. You may type the question in the chat box.
Yeah, there are some.
There are
Uh,
more compliments, sir. Many more
oh,
compliments on your session.
yeah,
It is
yeah,
really inspiring session and wonderful session. So many compliments are there for your
yeah,
session. Excellent illustration. So many things. Yeah.
yeah. But if somebody wants some specific question to be answered, I'm still.
Yes. Please go ahead, participants. I think there is no more questions, sir. So, however, I will share your contact details with the participants, sir.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they have any specific
Sure, sure,
questions or
sure,
point to
sure.
discuss, they will write to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And okay, so I request organizers to give the concluding remark.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to take this opportunity to give the summary and vote of thanks for this session. I would like to thank our today's eminent speaker, Dr. Vijay Bapat, sir, for his valuable time and deep insights on product design. Sir commenced the session by answering the question, what is design thinking? And thus, he stated that design techniques can be used to solve human centric problems innovatively, and the goal is to achieve best results. So, elaborated on the core meaning of design in various aspects. So, further stated about the increasing importance of design and innovation, and the reason, which is globalization and e marketing. So then elaborated on the importance of design in developing user-centric products and used the example of drill tip grinding device. So I gave a wonderful analogy between technology and design being the two sides of the same coin. Going ahead, Sir shed light on design in everyday things through elaborating on medical applications of adhesive tape. Next, he gave the example of mobiles evolving to smartphones, and thus Sir brought the attention to the power of design thinking, which was again explained further through various real life examples. So, I used various real everyday life examples which all participants could relate to, and thus the next topic, understanding users, that is primary, secondary, and tertiary users, was started. So then talked about designing for cradle to grave and the success through user-centric product innovation, for which forklift truck for Voltas was taken as a case study. Cooler pump for Compton Reefs was another case. Southern enlightened us about aesthetic improvement project Sigma 3 for electronic devices Mumbai, under whose umbrella points like foil sealing machine, production line, etc. were discussed. So then talked about connecting, unconnecting as a creativity methodology and the modular concept. So then described about the exhibition of the tablet packing machining and cartoning machine at PMEC in 2018 and elaborated further on it. So ended on a wonderful motivating note. We are grateful to you, sir, for today's very engaging, insightful, and knowledge-filled session. I'm certain that all the past participants would reap great benefits from it. I would also like to thank all the participants again for the enthusiasm and active participation throughout.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you,
My
Arundhati, for
pleasure.
nice
My
introduction.
pleasure.
Yes,
My
sir.
pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I
Thank
close
you.
the session here. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Yeah.
So participants tomorrow will have the session at 9 a.m. in the morning. Be there 10 minutes before, and feedback link is available in the chat box. You can give your feedback. And tomorrow is the last day. We have two sessions in the morning, and then in the afternoon we are having the test examinations. Just I'll take this opportunity to tell you about test. Test will be very basic. Don't worry about it. It's very fundamental, very basic questions. Need not to panic a lot. I will be sharing all the video